Hello and good morning. I am Rica Ranas and I will be presenting my airline's transport services problem scenario. We can notice in a world today that modern technology has transformed leaps and bounds over the decade. Many would agree when we say that the airplane is undoubtedly the most influential invention of the 20th century. That's indeed right, because the aviation industry has become one of the drives that helps the development of the modern world. It has connected nations that would have never been connected otherwise and shown us a new, unseen, and spectacular perspective of our Earth. Furthermore, many countries' tourism has developed due to the airline service industry. In this scenario, FlyAsia is one of the most leading airline industry here in the Philippines. Their fare was just, their pilots and crews are well trained, and the craft is brand new. That's why FlyAsia is well accepted in the country. However, behind its glamorous image is a nightmare for some passengers who have complaints on their services. Baggage theft. Cherry is an OFW from San Francisco and she took FlyAsia to go home on November 28. She had a one balikbayan box that contained gifts or pasalubong she prepared for her loved ones in the country. However, after she got home, she noticed that her balikbayan box was deliberately cut from the both sides and most of the designer products were stolen. She tried to call the FlyAsia office but was only given a reference number because FlyAsia won't be held accountable of the lost baggage once the passenger leaves the airport. Cherry was very disheartened by what she experienced because what was supposed to be a happy homecoming became a disaster due to the airline service. Another complaint that the customer has for FlyAsia is delayed flights. Jenny always traveled via ship and going to her hometown. However, because of some emergency, Jenny needed to go home immediately, so she took FlyAsia. It was her first time flying, so she was excited but nervous at the same time. On the boarding lane, the management announces that her flight to Cebu was delayed for 30 minutes. Jenny wonders why they did not explain, but Jenny decided to wait because there might be some problems with the craft or maybe the plane hasn't arrived. But after an hour, the management announces again that her flight was delayed for another hour. Unlike the last time, they did not explain what happened. Jenny was dissatisfied with their service because her time was taken for nothing, yet they did not even give a proper explanation towards their passenger, and they did not even bother giving compensation to appease them. Third complaints for FlyAsia is weak baggage handling system. Lucas was a football player, however, he injured both his legs during his last game. That's why he has to use a wheelchair to help him move. On board, Lucas was well taken care of the cruise. That's why he was very happy because he was treated like a normal person. However, when they went to the baggage area to get his wheelchair, Lucas noticed that one of his wheel was no longer moving because it's slightly bent. Lucas realized that even though they were so good at him, they did not take good care of his belongings. That's why Lucas complained. As the operation manager, it's really alarming to know that many passengers have complaints about their services. That's why I immediately took action to stop this from happening again and to help the airlines get their good image back. After all, the aviation industry is a service-driven. Its success depends enormously on how satisfied the passengers are. That's why we come up with a solution to solve this problem. Baggage theft is a huge thing that could harm the airline. That's why the management decided to tighten the security to stop this from happening again. We also decided to heighten the training of the crews who are handling the baggage system to make sure that everyone knows what to do. And lastly, the management implemented to compensate the customers 7 days after the baggage was considered stolen or lost in the airport. Delayed flight is indeed a big nuisance for the passenger because it can take their time. That's why the management decided to send notification beforehand to the passenger if the flight is delayed or cancelled to inform them, so they will know beforehand if they want to get a refund. Lastly, the management also decided to give the right compensation for their customer if the flight was delayed for 3 hours and more, and then refund the ticket for free if the flight was cancelled. The baggage that the crews are handling are owned by the customer. That's why it's only right to take care of it because it's part of their services. In regards to the case of Lucas, FlyAsia strengthened the security of the baggage area. They also come up with using automation and mechanization instead of manual handling to make sure that the baggages of the passenger is well taken care of because automation gives better control which helps in handling the passenger's belongings. That would be all, and thank you for listening.